This next video I'm going to go over how to use the return transaction to do an exchange, where the customer comes in and wants to return one item but exchange it for something else. So at the ticket header screen, the first thing that we're going to do is click on the drop down to the right of cashier and select your cashier ID. In most cases on a return, you want to keep track of the customer. So if it's a brand new customer that you did not put on your customer list, go ahead and create that customer. If not, go ahead and select an existing customer just by clicking on the magnifying glass icon to the left of customer or pressing Control-P on your keyboard. This will bring up your customer lookup. You can look up a customer by last name, first name, account number, or use a % sign for wildcard searches. We're going to go ahead and use the last name. Click on Lookup and select the customer. The customer's information will come up on the screen, such as name, address, city, state, zip, and email. If you choose to print the receipt, leave that checked. If not, remove the check mark. If you wanted to email the receipt, you could click to the left of Email Receipt, and that would email the receipt to the customer. If not, leave that unchecked. Over to the left, you have the sale type. So if you click on the drop down, there's store sale, web sale, telephone, and wholesale. So we're going to choose store sale. If you had a scanner that has the automatic save feature in it, you can scan the first item from this screen. If not, click on the ticket detail tab up at the top or press F6 on your keyboard. Since this transaction that we're doing is a return, we're going to do an exchange, we're going to go ahead and ring up the item that they're exchanging it for. So that transaction type is going to be regular sale for that purchase. So you can scan your first item. You'll see the UPC number and the SKU, and if there's a size associated or width, that'll come up on the screen. It'll show the quantity of one, the retail price, the taxes. If you wanted to give a discount percent, such as 10%, just type in 10. If you wanted to give a discount amount, to the right of discount amount, you can type in a dollar amount, such as $5. If you wanted to give a perk to the employee for selling that item, you can type in a dollar amount for the perk, such as $3. If this customer was purchasing this item for somebody else, you could choose that account that they're purchasing it for. By the salesperson, click on the drop down to the right of salesperson and choose the salesperson that sold this item. Now that we've rung up the item that they're purchasing, that they're exchanging it for, we're ready to scan the actual return. So we can click on the Add Item button or press F10 on our keyboard, and that adds that regular sale, which is the purchase, down to the bottom. Now we're ready to scan the item that they're bringing back. So we're going to change the transaction type to return. So click on the drop down to the right of transaction type, and we're going to change that to return. And we're going to scan the item that they're bringing back. Also note, if they don't have a barcode to scan for you, you can use the SKU lookup to look up the SKU information and select it that way. It'll bring up the UPC number, the SKU, the size, and the width, and you'll notice that the quantity is now a -1. Shows the retail price. If the customer received a discount originally, you can type in that discount amount, such as 10%. The customer had received a dollar amount off, you can type in that dollar amount to the right of discount amount, such as $5. And if the employee had received a perk on the original item, such as $3, you can type in that perk. You also want to give a reason for return, so click on the drop down to the right of return reason and select the reason for return. We're going to choose size exchange. It's also important that you choose the salesperson that originally sold that item. So click on the drop down to the right of salesperson and select that salesperson. This way they get this item charged back to them. You also see the sales tax up at the top right. If you had any other transactions that you needed to ring up, you could do so at this time. If you needed to do another regular sale or special order deposit, any type of layaway or gift card purchases, you could do so at this time. In this example, we're just doing the exchange. So we can click on Add Item or press F10 on our keyboard. And now you have the regular sale, the item that they're exchanging it for, and the item that they returned down below on the list. Now we're ready to end the sale, so we can click on the Ticket Payment tab up at the top or press F7 on our keyboard. If you needed to type in a ticket comment, you could type in a ticket comment in that text box. It'll show you the subtotal, the sales taxes, and the total too. You'll see in this example the item that they're exchanging it for is more than the item that they're returning. So the tender is a positive amount. The customer owes you money. If it was the other way around where the return was more than the item that they are exchanging it for, then that would be a negative amount. And if it was an even exchange, if they were just exchanging sizes where the prices were the same, you'd see the tender as 0. You'll see all the tenders to the left. In this example, we have cash, MasterCard, Visa, store credit, gift card, Discover, debit card, check, and American Express. You can either click on this tender to the left, or you can click on the drop down to the right under Tender and choose the appropriate tender. We're going to choose cash. If you made a mistake, you can click on the red X to the right, and that removes that. When you're ready to end the sale, you can click on the End Sale button or press F9 on your keyboard. This is an example of how the receipt looks. You can burn a logo in if you have the thermal receipt printer. Has your beginning receipt message with your name, address, city, state, phone number. You have the transaction date and time, store number, cashier ID, and ticket number. You have the customer ID number, name and address. Shows the regular sale by that salesperson, the description, SKU, size, and price. And you have the return and that salesperson. Same information, and you show that it has the minus amount for the return. Shows you your subtotal, your sales tax, if there's any shipping charges, the total, and the tender given. And that completes how to use the return transaction to do an exchange.